everybody, this is Mr. Momobot and welcome to another one of my action figure reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the World of Nintendo Samus Aran action figure. So before I get to the figure, I want to take a really quick look at the packaging. So here's the packaging, very nice looking, and I have to assume, hold on, Morph Ball was rolling off the table. I have to assume this figurine is based on the Metroid Prime 3 Samus, because that's the picture they are using on the cover of the box. So I have to say that's gotta be the design they're using. Though it's very similar to all the Prime, suits, so could be any of them really. But to me that looks like it. And I know that's a photo from the third game. Either way, official Nintendo logo in World of Nintendo. Samus figure was right there, and it was kind of at a weird pose, but it was okay. And it says mystery accessory included. We'll look at that later, of course. And it says Metroid. And at the back of the box, that and this thing for some reason. This looks like the Figma if it was not painted, and plus it has these weird things on the legs. The figure has those, but they're not as pronounced. This looks a lot like that Japanese kit you can buy that only shows up once in a while. Though, not quite like that, because there are some differences. It looks much shinier. Actually, no. But the orange looks quite different than what the figure really is. So, that's why it reminds me of the Japanese figurine. Looks a little different, too. Yeah, like, it's really different. It's really weird. Either way, so it just shows off that. And then we get this down here, which is really cool. Some of the other characters from the Nintendo line. And then there's Ganondorf, and then there's the Metroid. That is so cool. I cannot wait to get that if I can get a hold of it. Yeah, I doubt I will, because it's supposedly supposed to be in stores too, and I haven't seen that. I haven't seen her. I even checked GameStop for Samus, by the way, and they said they might have had the World of Nintendo figurines when they came out, which makes it sound like they were a year ago, which I don't think they were. But they sold out really quick, and they're not restocking for some reason. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe yours has that, though. Anyway, we'll get to stores later. But yeah, that Metroid is cool. You should look up some reviews for it. Eventually, I will if I get it. If it's a big word. So, that's the packaging. You've seen it before, most likely. So, sorry. But I wanted to show you it. And, yeah. So, there's that. Let's get to the figurine. So, this figure is pretty good. I got her off Amazon with my $25 gift card for my sister. It took a while to actually use that gift card, but I used it on something that I really wanted, so I'm glad I did. This figure usually retails around $8 to $10, I think, in stores. I got it for $18. So, definitely, it looks nice, and yeah. So, there's not much to say right now, so let's just get to it. Let's take a look at her articulation first. So, she has a elbow joint right here. She doesn't have a wrist joint, which, this figure is actually a tad bit small, so I kind of understand why she can't swivel her wrist. But it's still disappointing a little. It has a swivel, and it spins right here. Well, right here and up here. And it goes, her arm goes back and forth pretty far. To about right there. That looks pretty funny. Like she's gonna do some karate or something. But not the best articulation, unfortunately. And her other arm's exactly the same. Here's her cannon. It looks okay. And here's her legs. She can move her legs. Her legs are on a ball joint. They can go forward and back only a little. Then they start doing this weird swivel joint like it's on a... what was it called again? I forget. But still, yeah, it's like that, which isn't really cool, but, you know. And then her knee goes like that. Sorry. And then her foot swivels. It can't swivel all the way, though. Not seemingly. So, that's sort of a problem. So, not that much articulation. Oh, and her head moves sideways and stuff. Can't go 360 because of the shoulder pads, and you know. And it is on a ball joint. It's just that her head does not go up and down very much, unfortunately. So that's too bad. So let's talk about her paint apps and detail. Okay, so her paint, well, you know, it's fairly simple. She has her red and nice green stripes here and there, you know, like on her leg, which is great because I've always loved this design of Samus. I think a lot of people do. But either way, her chest piece, little green, and a little on her hand. Just a little. Sometimes it's a little scuffed. Like on this part of the leg, I can see a little black or gray. So it's a little scuffed up a little. Not because of shipping or anything, it's because that's just the way the figure's made, it seems. Some a little right here, and a little paint splotching right here. So, you know, it ain't perfect. This is $8, so it's not gonna be, you know, fantastic. But it's very nice, I'd say. It's nice to look at. Unfortunately, you can't put her in a really cool pose or anything. She's just gonna basically be standing here like this for the rest of her little toy life. So yeah. That's sort of a problem, but it's still a nice figure. It goes well with the other ones. So let's take a look at her accessory. So, seemingly, they packaged this figure with a mystery accessory, which I'm sure all of you know what it is by now, but let's open it up. It's a nice little box, kind of bluish tints in it. So, if you want, you can put a bunch of other stuff, you know, in it, because it is a nice little box. And here we have the Morph Ball. Same color as her, basically. It's different plastic, it seems, and it's very light. It feels kind of cheap to me, but it's nicely detailed, actually, except the green going across. It's a little splotched once in a while, just a little. But in general, it looks pretty nice for an accessory, I'd say. They have little indents inside these little red parts. They're actually sculpted in, so that adds a little more detail, and it looks pretty nice because of that. So that's about it for the Morph Ball, and yeah, so that's it. I would have liked it a lot if they came with a missile or anything. You know, it's a mystery accessory. They should have packed in a few kind of mystery accessories, not just the Morph Ball, because then everyone's going to see a review and they'll know what it is. So, I don't know, maybe they will, eventually. I couldn't find this Samus figure in any Targets or Toys R Us's in my area. I went out of quite far, actually, from my house just to look for it. They didn't have them at all. They had all the other figures, but one Target didn't even have any World of Nintendo figures, which was very pitiful. But, yeah, at least we got some Walking Dead cups. Either way, I'm glad I got this figure now. So, let's take a look at the size comparisons. Okay, here's the size comparison. Here's Master Chief from Halo 3, Series 1, the original. So, she's shorter than Chief, unfortunately. I was hoping she would be just the same height, because I think that's how tall she would be compared to Chief. But, you know, they don't look that bad sitting together. Their legs are actually about the same height. It's just her body is shorter for some reason. So, you know, it's fine. It looks pretty cool still. And then, here's a ODST from Halo 3. And he is shorter than Samus. So we got a whole little family or something. So, here's a NECA figure. Definitely taller. Just, you know, putting it out there. And then here's another NECA figure. Might as well. Which obviously, she looks pretty cool with Alien. But she's very small. So yeah, there's those guys. And then, interesting comparison right here. Here's one of my custom Samus figures. About the same size as that ODST, actually. And she's not standing up very well. And here's this Samus that I take much pride in. My best and last custom Samus. So as you can see, this one was shorter, and it has a lot of dust on it. But they all look pretty nice, I'd say. The red I used on this actually looks very similar to this. Which, by the way, even though the colors are very simple on this Samus figure, it's really nice to look at. You know how that simplistic look is? That feeling? I don't know how to explain it. But it just really is nice. And I like the little black parts for her legs, actually. That looks really nice. Nice detail. So, how about another comparison? This is a comparison I was very excited to make, and it is this old Samus. I thought this figure was gonna be just like this one, the same colors and everything. But it is a slightly different orange, definitely, I'd say. And the reds are nicer, and it has more detail, actually. Although, surprisingly, this one has a good sculpt. But either way, they're very similar in a way. This one is less articulated than the Figma figure, which I'll be showing in a minute. And this one is less articulated, although it's even less than this. So, I don't know. They're very close to each other, though. Though I have to admit, this one actually has a wrist articulation, so that's nice. The thing is about this cannon, it's very cool looking. It looks like the Metroid Prime 3 cannon, actually. Though I think they all mostly look like this, but they did really good detail on that. The color could be better. I mean, look at this one. This looks really nice, though it's a little small on this figure. It is a nice color. This one, not so much. I feel like repainting it in a way, but if I was gonna repaint it, I would have gotten two, but no thank you. I'm fine with one. So yeah, this is a very interesting comparison to me, and they sit side by side together very well, actually, just because they're similar and certain. That very simplistic, you know, tone with this one is the same thing with this, just a little more game accurate, I think. Although I think this one was based on a certain piece of art instead of the game itself. So that's why it might look a little weird, I think. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm just assuming that, because I kind of thought about that one day. So, one last comparison. Oh my god! No! The tragedy. No. Anyway, yeah. My Samus fell over backwards in my living room, and her torso broke off, nice and clean, and I can't fix it without ruining their articulation. So that's just great. My brother said he'd replace it for my birthday, which is very nice of him to do. I'll have to do something for him. So I'll get this glued together real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I glued her body together again with glue gun, which is sad because now she won't be able to. Well, she might be able to articulate still, but I don't know. That sucks. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one though. But okay. So, as you can see, she's taller and obviously way better. This is a $60 to $40 figure. Of course it's going to be better. You don't find it in stores. You usually have to order it online. You know, you might find it in stores, in special stores or whatever. I don't really know. I haven't seen them in stores personally, I don't think. But, yeah. For what this is a great figure. You probably have heard that from many other people, and they're right. It is a great deal. It's a great deal, you know. I got it for $18, and I think that's a fair price still. Though it, not really, but to me, I'm satisfied, even having to pay $18. But I really suggest you do not go over 30 or 20 even, because definitely over 30, that's not good, or 30 itself or whatever, because, you know, 18, 16, in that range of dollars, cash, moolah, I think that's good. And of course, if you can get it for the price it is, which is about $10 or $8, then yeah, go for it. And if you see it at the store, get it, because it's right there. If you happen upon it and you don't have it yet, get it. As long as, you know, you want it or whatever. Like, if you don't, then yeah, you can just kind of not get it. But, you know, if you're a Metroid fan and you've always wanted a figure of Samus, especially this design and not this one, which I like it and I like the game. And I think it's underrated. But it is the worst still of the Metroid franchise, unfortunately. But it's not a horrible game. Either way, whatever. You know, if you can't afford this one and you see this one at the store, get it. Just get it. It's only going to be $10 or $8. I'm assuming $10. But I think that would be worth this. Because 18 was apparently worth it, for me anyway. It might differ for different people, and who knows, the quality might not be as good. You gotta watch out. If you see some in the store, check the quality of each one, and see which one you like the most. So yeah. So that's basically it. But let's compare something else. Just real quick. I want to talk about this too. Here's their Morph Ball modes. Obviously, this one is way better and cooler looking. But again, this is a nice accessory. Though I would have liked it if they made it with a missile or something else. Like, because also I forgot to mention that there's a little orange in these lines, which is kind of accurate, but I think it's supposed to be bluish or red or something, one of those. I might repaint that because that looks kind of ugly to me, because it's that greenish color or whatever it is seeping through that orange, and it looks weird, honestly. But this is an okay figure. Again though, I don't think this is the right size for the Morph Ball. They're making it too small. This might be the right size, but honestly, I think the Morph Ball is supposed to be at least as big as this. About the height of your hips or whatever. Maybe a little shorter. Yeah, I don't know. Because in Metroid Prime 3, you're in a ship at the beginning of the game. You can go walking around near some soldiers, guys, and they're about as tall as you, because they're soldiers and stuff, and they're in armor. So, if you roll into Morph Ball mode in that game, right next to them, you should see the size approximately how it's supposed to be. And I know, it's not that small. It might not be as big as I'm saying, but it's not that small. They did the same thing with this figure. for this size, it's like the same thing almost. So that's sort of getting me annoyed, especially since this one isn't quite as good. I would have rather had a missile or a beam of whatever instead of a Morph Ball. But, you know, not a big deal, because it's just an accessory. The figure itself is pretty nice for what it is. So yeah. So that wraps up, that probably just wraps up the whole thing. I think it's a very nice figure, and if you see it, get it, definitely. And if you're thinking about trying to get it and hunting for it, try online. Unless, like, you really want to try it at the store, but, man, we went driving around everywhere. In Dallas. And a little farther. I don't know if it's just a thing in the US or my city. They don't have them yet or something. I wouldn't be surprised if, now that I got this figure, and when I go back to a store or something, I'm gonna see them everywhere. It always happens sometimes with these, like my Bishop figure, I saw some at Toys R Us, a whole lot of them, which they should be buying those more often, people, but okay. I would like to thank you guys for watching my video. Please comment and subscribe if you liked it, and if you like any of my other videos. And I just wanted to announce that I most likely will be making a video about all my custom-made Samus figurines, Samus merchandise, like other characters basically. The Metroids themselves that I've made, I'll have to repair them a little bit because they've gotten a little beat up, unfortunately. But I think that would be pretty cool to do. I was meaning to do that before this video or something, but the person that sent me this figure was very good, responsive. I didn't ask them anything, but they were really quick. They sent it super quick. FedEx did really good at shipping it too. So I'm very glad I chose FedEx again. That's twice now, recently, that they've been really good at delivering and stuff. So I think they are really good now. They were kind of, you know, doing bad for a long time ago. For a long time now, I've been using UPS, but now they seem to be back in business, so good to use them again. They're very nice. So, just wanted to mention that. I hope you guys are excited for that, and I'm gonna make a short review inside that video, or a part 2, to look at this figure, because this is my special figure, basically. So, yeah. Hope you guys are looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys in my next review.